can get fresh with us. Get fresh with us.
Figures of action here, and today we're going to take a look at the new Mezco 112. Who is it?
Wolverine.
Let's say it the other way. The way you sang it.
Wolverine.
Wolverine. I just got this figure in the mail on Friday from freshfigures.com. I don't know if they still have them available, but I will include a link in the description below.
Next to us is 3 Wolverines.
4.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we have some more
Yeah.
Wolverines over here
Yeah.
to the
yeah,
side.
Yeah, we have some Wolverines.
I might show you how big one of them
If
is.
you look on our if you look on our Twitter and stuff, you'll probably recognize that stair. Those stairs.
Oh, the stairs?
Yeah, you'll probably recognize them if you've been watching our videos a long time, as well as looking at our Twitter and Instagram.
Yes. The 112 Mezco Wolverine is similar to their other releases that I have. This is my 5th Mezco 112 figure now. So the box, which we'll talk about first, doesn't have the flap that my Captain America, the Commander Steve Rogers, or the Punisher had. It's got a picture there on the back of everything that's in the box, and it slides off.
And there, it looks like an ant.
And then there's
nothing.
The figure and everything was housed inside. They used to do
There's nothing inside.
a box that opened like a book.
Yeah.
Um,
Opened
like
a
the front flap would open, and then
Yeah.
you'd be able to see all the stuff inside. And there was some character art on the other side.
Yeah, they used to do that. I
They've
remember.
they've toned down the packaging a little bit and hopefully put the other budget into the figures. So Wolverine came with a total of 3 sets of hands, 2 heads, a sword.
Creepy heads. It looks like Darth Vader's.
Mine's a little bent.
Yeah.
And
And
came with a
ninja.
stand, a arm that goes into the stand, and a bag for the accessories. If you've had any 112 or you've watched any 112 reviews, then you already know about all of
Yeah,
this.
you already know
stuff.
about all of this. If you know all, so if you've been watching our, I think 3 112 videos, then you would know about all that stuff, and you've been watching our channel for a while. So yeah.
Let's take a look at the figure. Space. It comes with the nice X on it. That peg, you can push it out from the back if you use the
Yeah,
the
it's
stand.
the X-Men logo.
The if you use the arm, it'll push
The
out that
stand
peg.
has the nice X-Men logo. Yeah.
So Wolverine here is a little shorter than the other 112 figures.
And also I have something to say. Shout out to my friend Madeline if she subscribed to her channel like I asked her to.
So he's a little shorter than, say, Deadpool, which is about the same size as the other Mezco figures that I have. The Punisher, the Red Skull, the Commander Rogers. Wolverine is a little shorter than them, and he's built a little stockier. It seems like arms and legs are a little... they look shorter, and he's a little shorter at the top of his head than the other ones.
I got glitter pants.
Some interesting things I noticed about this figure right off is he does have all the articulation that the other Mezco figures had, as well as the cloth and leather or imitation leather fabric costume parts. But there were some little differences that I noticed that weren't like this on my other Mezco figures, and I thought they were kind of cool. The top of the suit is tucked in.
These.
It's tucked in to where the neck goes instead of creating a collar like the other figures have. All my other Mezco figures have a little collar right there, where Wolverine's is tucked in. So it doesn't get in the way of the neck articulation and looks a little more... Does he remind you of bees?
Yes.
Huh. Is it the color?
Yeah.
Well,
That's why he said bees.
Mezco is doing a total of 4. Wolverines.
I said it 4 times because I said it when I was talking about it.
They're doing a total of 4 Wolverines. This is the only one that's this color. There was a yellow and blue tiger stripe that was an exclusive. There's the X-Force, it's black and gray.
Bees.
And there's the Old Man Logan that's coming out as well.
Bees.
So, the other thing...
Logan.
It's his name.
Oh. Well, we already have a figure of him, so... no need
But
to buy that.
the Mezco is making one based on the comics.
I thought you meant the one that
Legends
that's
one.
custom, I think.
Oh, that one?
Yeah.
No. Mezco's doing some more Wolverine figures. The other thing that I noticed is his hinged shoulder pad. So the shoulder pad, it actually did pop off by accident when I was moving the arm around when I first got it, but I don't know if I can replicate that now because it hasn't popped off again since I put it back on. Basically, at the top of the shoulder, there are these little pegs that come up and they hold an arm that is hinged there and also hinged on the other side right here. So it's got 2 hinges, one on the shoulder pad and one on the shoulder with a little arm in between them.
It's the middle of the video.
So that if you put his arm up or back, the shoulder pad can move so that it doesn't really restrict his movement there, if that makes sense. If you had the Wolverine in your hand, you would see what I was talking about if you were moving him around a bit. So the shoulder pad does move. It is attached to the arm, but it's not fixed in a way that restricts movement. This is the first Mezco I've had that has bare arms, and I think that is a pretty serious looking elbow joint there. I'd seen other Mezco figures that had bare arms, and I'd seen that type of joint before, but this is the first one that I've had that's
Does he have
like
a butterfly joint?
He kind of has a butterfly joint. I can't tell if it's restricted somewhat or if the joints are just so tight that... But he does seem to have a butterfly joint under there, although we can't really see it. I think that he does.
He can fly like this.
Yeah, most of them do. Most of them do have a butterfly joint right here, but I can't seem to really move his a lot. It's either too tight or too shallow in depth to really be effective. Now, I got the figure on Friday and today's Sunday, so I've only had a couple of days to mess with it. And one of those days I was working, so I didn't really get much time that day.
It's Sunday. In case you're, maybe if you're watching it tomorrow, right now it's Sunday.
Something else.
It's Sunday, and I don't know the name. Whatever, nothing matters.
Something else I noticed about the figure. With the hands, it's a softer rubber or plastic than they had been using.
Ooh, that's soft.
With the other figures I have. The other figures I have, the hands are very rigid. Yes, they have a little bit of play in them to allow for...
And also the yellow part, it feels like Deadpool's, which we did.
Yeah.
And then the brown feels like leather.
It
Maybe
does.
fake leather, I don't know.
But the fingers are a lot more pliable on these hands. Like they move and stuff. Kind of rubbery. So he's got
called movement.
He has a fist, and he has an open hand for the sword, which can also hold
Funnel Vision.
a beer that came with my NECA preacher figure. I got him to hold a beer last night. And he also comes with a pair of claw hands. These claws are very sharp for being plastic.
Oh, those are sharp.
Told you. They're very sharp for being plastic, and they were also extremely straight, something that we've never seen from Marvel Legends. And not a lot of 1/12 scale Wolverine figures to compare it to. I had the Revoltech on loan, but I gave it back. His claws are pretty straight too. So here's Wolverine with the alternate head, with the teeth barred and the claws, and it just looks amazing in hand. The pictures didn't really do it justice online. The pictures I had seen before I got this guy is definitely much cooler in hand. The leather that goes up the back and into the neck goes down to the shorts as well. It seems to be one piece, but it's kind of hard to tell with the belt fixed in position there. The boots are sculpted out like the costume to resemble the mask, and there's a calf swivel there as well. It's got the standard double jointed knees and elbows, biceps swivel, the wrists, but Mezco ankle pivot has gotten a lot better in the figures that I've had. So I started off with the Deadpool, then I got the Commander Rogers and the Punisher, and then the Red Skull, and their ankle pivot has steadily gotten better with releases, because it was almost non-existent at first, but it's gotten a whole lot better. You get a whole lot more articulation in the ankle now, and the joint is hidden. You can't really see where it connects at, but it does have a very excellent range of motion. As much as I like the claws on the figure, I really like the grabbing hands as well, and the fact that they're more pliable. The material is much more pliable than the other Mezco releases I have. They're kind of a stiffer plastic, and Wolverine does look pretty good with the other hands on. I know claws are his thing, and he looks great with the claws, but he looks really good with these other hands too, and I'm glad that they did include them, as well as the sword, because he looks really good with the sword too. So, well, with a fancy box for a fancy figure, all the accessories, the stand, the arm that goes with the stand, and the bag to put all the extra accessories in, I think that this Wolverine is well worth the retail price of the $80. I've yet to be disappointed in any of the Mezco figures that I have. I'm only up to 5, but these things are pretty amazing. I'm a Legends guy, so $20 for a figure is my comfort zone. Every now and then a character comes out, and I really want the Mezco version of it. So they're a little bit more expensive, but you do get what you pay for. These guys are they're pretty amazing. So let's see if we can get a look at how tall this guy is real quick before we wrap this up. Oh, I didn't show you next to the Legends Wolverine. This is the Juggernaut Wave Wolverine, and you can see he's a little shorter and a little smaller. That's the Juggernaut Wave one, next to the Mezco, just for size. right. Z, can you help me get a look at how tall this guy is real quick? You think you can get the ruler behind him?
About 6 inches.
About, maybe, looks like just the top of the head might be at about just over
6 inches.
maybe 5 3/4.
Yeah.
But the tip of the ears, or the tip of the
Subscribe,
mouth.
like, and comment below.
We rushed to the end. Hang on a second. The tips of the mask go up to about 6 inches.
You can say that on Instagram.
This has been just about everything I can think of to
Subscribe,
tell
like,
you
and comment below.
about the new Mezco 112 Wolverine figure. I will include a link in the description below. Perhaps you can still get one.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Subscribe, like, and comment below.
Thanks for watching.
You.